Hey everyone, welcome to the STWAD Gaming channel, and we're doing another video for Resort Tycoon, which is an awesome game that you can play on Roblox. Now I've managed to unlock this particular boat, or cargo boat. That's pretty cool. And I'm traveling out to the seas. Let's see what happens. There's a few changes that they've made to the game since I last played it through a different account, which is pretty cool. There is still the Obby Island, which I will share a video of that, of me failing miserably at trying to get through it. I end up getting so annoyed I just end up, nah, that's it, and leaving it and going to do something else. But at the moment I'm heading towards a destination which appears to be some sort of cluster of islands. It kind of reminds me of, if you've ever seen the movie Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think it is. Actually no, not Journey to the Center of the Earth, the sequel, the one with The Rock in it, Mysterious Island, where they end up getting sucked into some sort of bad weather thing. So this is what I'm talking about. Look, no, it's happening. I'm getting transported to some unlock more items on your resort. I think currently on the resort, I have upgraded some more stuff. I think I did a number of different recordings, so I think what I'm up to now is I unlocked a go-kart track, I think it was, and a different level of the resort. I'm hoping to be able to eventually unlock the basement part, which is where you get to have this like really cool arcade room, and it even has some interactive games that you can use, which is awesome. I love that part of this game. So if you haven't played Resort Tycoon yet, I'm pretty sure, is it Resort Tycoon 2 or was it just... was it? Okay, so Resort Tycoon, if you haven't played it, head over to Roblox, have a crack at it, see how you like it, see if some of your friends can play too. You'll be able to visit each other's islands, which will be really cool. Maybe have a bit of a competition to see who can unlock the most first before the others. So, you know, have a bit of friendly competition going on just to sort of, you know, amp you up and try and get as much unlocked as possible. Or especially head over to the obby that you'll be able to see in another video. I will eventually get through it, I know, but for the time being. Anyway, sit back and get yourself ready for the next portion of the video, because that's what we came for. Alright. Alright, get prepared, sit down, take it easy somewhere. Well, hopefully you are sitting down anyway. So this is going to be the story portion of the video. So let's get into it. So it'll be Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Hard Luck by Jeff Kinney, Part 5. So we're up to Wednesday. I actually used to look forward to when Mum's family came to town because it was a good way for me to make some cash. One year I was drawing pictures at the kitchen table and Mum told me I should try selling my drawings to the family. It actually worked out great. I'd draw a picture of a house or a turtle and turn around and sell it to someone in the family for $5. In the weeks leading up to a big family holiday, I'd draw as fast as I could so I had a big stockpile when my relatives arrived. One Thanksgiving I drew so many pictures that I made $80. In fact, it was so easy to turn my art into cash that I thought that's how it was going to be for the rest of my life. But once I got a little older, the same relatives who were snapping up my drawings when I was little weren't as quick to pull out their wallets. And I'm still not sure if it's because I went back to the same people too many times or because I doubled my prices. But when Manny started selling his drawings, all of a sudden my relatives were like human ATM machines. Let me just say this. When I draw a picture, I put a lot of time and effort into it. But Manny scribbles out 15 drawings in a minute and don't even ask me what half of them are supposed to be. This all just goes to show that some people have no taste when it comes to art. Thursday. We're having Easter at Grandma's house again this year, which kinda stinks because Grandma's house isn't very kid-friendly. The only thing she has that's even close to a toy over there is this stuffed elephant called Ellie. Grandma bought Ellie as a chew toy for our old dog Sweetie, who lives with her now. But Sweetie tore off Ellie's trunk, ears and legs on the first day he had it. So now you can't even tell it's supposed to be an elephant. If you're a kid, that's all you've got for entertainment at Grandma's house, and there's only so much fun you can have with a stuffed bowling pin. It wouldn't be so boring at Grandma's if Sweetie could still play like he used to, but Grandma has fed him so much dog food and table scraps that at this point he's basically a beach ball with legs. Plus, Grandma dresses him up like a little person now, so I think he's just really depressed. Every once in a while, when we have dinner over at Grandma's, we try and have a little fun with Sweetie anyway. One night, we found out that if you sneak up behind him when he's sleeping and make a raspberry sound with your lips, his ears perk up. Then Sweetie sniffs his rear end for the next 5 minutes and goes back to sleep. Me and Roderick do that over and over, and Sweetie has the exact same reaction every single time. But one night, when Dad gave it a try, it totally backfired. Even though Grandma's house is boring, Easter actually used to be pretty fun. When great Granny Meemaw was still alive, we'd always have a big Easter egg hunt at Grandma's. Meemaw was Grandma's mum. No disrespect to Meemaw or anything, but if I ever have grandkids, I'm going to be the one who chooses what they call me, not them. And I'm going to go with something basic like Grandpa or Granddad, because I don't want to end up getting stuck with some goofy nickname for the rest of my life. I'm sure my great grandfather wishes he could change his name, but he's about 93 years old, so there's really no point now. Anyway, Meemaw was in charge of putting prizes in the plastic eggs for the Easter egg hunt. She'd stuff them with things like candy and change, but every so often she'd drop in a $5 bill. Then she'd hide the eggs inside Grandma's house and in her backyard. After Easter brunch, all of us kids would go to Grandma's backyard and get ready to fill up our baskets with as many eggs as we could find. Meemaw used to overdo it with the eggs though, and hide way more than she needed to. In fact, I'll bet you could go out in Grandma's backyard right now and still find enough to fill up a basket. Sometimes I'll find the egg at Grandma's in a cabinet or stuffed between the couch cushions. A few weeks ago, Grandma's toilet wasn't working, and Dad found a pink plastic egg in the water tank that had probably been bobbing around in there for years. When Meemaw got older, she wasn't as sharp as she used to be, and she started putting strange things in the plastic eggs for prizes. One year, I found a green bean, a bottle cap, and a paperclip in my eggs. That was the same year Manny found dental floss in one of his. And I can tell you from experience that a used tissue sounds exactly the same as a $5 bill when it's inside a plastic egg. The last Easter egg hunt we had was the year Meemaw passed away. At her funeral, Mum realised Meemaw wasn't wearing her diamond wedding ring. Everybody was all in a panic because that ring had been in the family for 3 generations, and apparently it was worth a lot of money. After the funeral, the family went to the rest home where Meemaw and Peepaw lived and turned the place upside down, but they couldn't find the ring anywhere. It got pretty ugly after that. Great Aunt Beatrice accused her sister, Great Aunt Martha, of pocketing the ring for herself. Then Aunt Gretchen said Meemaw promised her the ring, so if anybody found it, they needed to hand it over. And before you knew it, the whole family was at each other's throats. So that's how things ended the last time we all got together, and it's probably the reason we haven't been in one place since. I think the whole ring situation really shook Mum up. She said she hopes no one finds Meemaw's ring, because if someone does, it could break up the whole family. But if that means no more visits from Aunt Gretchen and her kids, I have to say, I'm all for it. Sunday. When it comes to holidays, I'm more of a Christmas guy than an Easter guy. On Christmas, the second you get home from church, you can just totally unwind. But on Easter, you have to stay in your church clothes the whole day, or at least you do in my family. Today we went straight from church to Grandma's house, and my tie was already starting to drive me crazy. I was nervous everyone was just going to pick right back up where they left off after Meemaw's funeral, but when we got to Grandma's, everyone seemed to have moved past it. I've never been that comfortable walking into a room full of relatives. I know I see these people once or twice a year, but there are so many of them, I can't even remember everyone's name. They all seem to remember everything about me, though. I always try to get past the crowd in the front hallway as quickly as possible and find a place where there aren't as many people. Manny's strategy is to pretend he doesn't speak whenever he's at family gatherings. I admit, I'm a little jealous and wish I'd come up with that idea a long time ago. I didn't think many people would show up after the whole diamond ring blow up, but it actually seemed more crowded this year. On top of the aunts and uncles who usually come to these things, a bunch of Mum's cousins were there too. Her cousin Gerald from California made the trip. Apparently, he lived with my family for a few months right after I was born, but I wish he didn't have to remind me every time he sees me. Mum's cousin Martina was there too, and she hasn't been to a family gathering since she struck it rich in Las Vegas. The way I heard it, one morning, Martina was at the hotel breakfast buffet when she noticed another room with more food in it. But when she made a beeline for the other room, she found out that there was no other room. It was actually a full-length mirror reflecting the room she was already in. Martina broke her collarbone and sued the hotel, so I'm pretty sure the Porsche parked in Grandma's driveway was hers. Uncle Larry was at Grandma's too. I don't think he's actually related to anyone, but someone invited him to a family event at some point, and he's been showing up ever since. Uncle Larry's a great guy and all, but he always parks himself in the best seat in Grandma's family room and doesn't move until it's time to leave. Grandma's two sisters both came this year, even though they can't stand each other. Every Christmas they exchange presents, but I think the only reason they do it is to see who can come up with the most insulting gift. On Easter at Grandma's house, you've basically got three choices of how to occupy yourself. You can sit in the family room and watch golf on TV with the men, go in the kitchen and talk with the women, or hang out in the basement with all the kids. None of these options really works for me, so I always just lock myself in the bathroom until it's time to eat. The main event at Easter is brunch. The whole family used to sit at one long table in the dining room, but now that the family's bigger, it's split between grown-ups and kids. The grown-ups table's in the dining room and the kids' table's in the kitchen. I'm kind of glad we changed things up because when we all used to sit together, I'd always end up next to someone who was way more interested in my life than I was. I'd always end up next to someone who was way more interested in my life than I was. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, sorry. Let's keep going. Plus, when we all sat together, Mum would make me eat food I didn't like. She always wants me to try her potato salad, which I might be willing to do if it wasn't served in the same bowl she uses when one of us kids has the flu. Oh yeah, that is gross. I don't like eating in Grandma's dining room anyway because it's way too formal, and I think it makes everyone act too serious. A few years ago, Peepaw had a green bean hanging from his lip for most of brunch. That was funny enough on its own, but when it fell into his glass of water, I had to laugh. I thought everyone else would laugh too, but nobody did. Dad shot me a look and I got the feeling I should just keep my head down and go back to eating my ham. Ever since then, whenever something funny happens during a meal in the dining room, I do everything I can to stop myself from laughing. I pinch my inner thigh or bite my lip real hard, but sometimes even that's not enough. One year, when Peepaw went to blow out the candles on his birthday cake, his dentures came flying out. I strained so hard to keep myself from laughing that I thought I might burst a blood vessel or blow out an eyeball or something. Plus, I'd just taken a big sip of chocolate milk and I was trying not to let it dribble onto my plate. I tried to think of something really sad, but all I could come up with was Sweetie in his little sweater. Then one thought led to another, and it was just too much for me to take. In fact, now that I think of it, that incident is probably what led to us kids having our own table in the kitchen. I'm not sure how they figured out who qualifies as a kid and who's an adult because Uncle Cecil sits at the grown-ups table. I know it might sound like Uncle Cecil is a grown-up, but he's actually only 3 or 4 years old. Great Aunt Marcy adopted him a few years ago, and somehow I guess that makes him my uncle. It does make things pretty awkward sometimes. I think the rule should be that if you need a booster seat, you're automatically disqualified from sitting at the grown-ups table. But Uncle Cecil sits in the dining room with the adults, and Roderick has to sit at the kids' table, even though he's practically a grown man. Today I made sure to sit as far away as I could from Melvin and Malcolm, but that meant I ended up sitting next to my second cousin Georgia, who has a front tooth that's so loose it's hanging by a thread. Her tooth was like that the last time we saw her, so we're talking years now. Everyone in the family tries to convince her to let them pull it out, but she's been stalling for forever. Alright, that's the end of that for now. There'll be more hard luck coming in the next video, and hopefully we should be able to finish off the story in a couple of more videos to go. Also, for those who are curious, I will put up a copy of Diary of a Wimpy Kid on Spotify so that everyone can listen to it there too. All right, in the meantime, take care, look after yourselves, and I'll chat to you soon. All right, bye for now.